Hello, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may happen to be in the world. I'm very happy that you are here with me today, here on Boles.tv. BOLES dot TV. I'm David Boles, and we have lots of fun things to have a conversation about today. One of the first things we're going to talk about is my experience yesterday with purchasing my newest best friend. I don't know his name. I don't know if he is a cat or a dog. If I knew the nomenclature a little bit better, I would know what I'm talking about. But this is now mine. This is my new, first, only, and exclusive NFT, non-fungible token. What does that mean? Who is this person? Well, we'll have a nice conversation about it today. I'll show you what I've learned, show you what I don't know, show you what I know. Trying to figure out how things work. It's a big mess. Oh, there's Dora. Good morning, Dora. And I tell you, there's this whole other world swirling out there that if we're not paying attention, it doesn't mean it's not happening. And the world of NFTs is one of those things. Now, I've learned several important and hardy lessons that I will share with you throughout this process. I have spoken on this live stream in the past how I think that NFTs can be a vehicle for laundering money, washing money, as they say. But it can also be a wonderful place to exchange ideas, to invest. And some people say, well, you don't own the artwork that you purchase. But do you own the music that you listen to? You purchase a CD, but you don't own the songs. People make the mistake and think they do, and they put them online, and then they get in big trouble with DMCA takedowns. You stream the music you're listening to now from Slipstream. Very nice. I did not write the music. I do not own the music. I pay a license fee in order to be able to use the music for a period of 1 year. So in some ways, it's the same with NFTs. You are purchasing a license that associates you with that piece of work of art forever, I guess, unless you decide to flip it or sell it, and I guess there's a lot of flipping going on in the NFT world. And it also appears that if there are multiple copies of this and every other NFT, unless it's one of one, that as the sale goes, you can buy it at this price, and then the next iteration of that image goes up higher in price. So you want to get there early, you want to get one of the first ones, I guess, so you get the lowest floor price. Now, one of the reasons I was interested in these NFTs is because of the conversation we have here and what it means for the future of money and art and online commerce. Plus, because I'm a Twitter Blue member, hey, I do like blue. You can set your profile picture on Twitter with an NFT. And the reason that's very interesting is, as I'll show you, it gives you not a circle around your image. It gives you an octagon indicating, hey, this is an NFT. However, I believe that is only true on the iOS version of Twitter. I think it's coming to Android and, the web soon. But right now, it's just iOS, as I understand it. And what you can do is iOS touch on that profile picture that is an NFT, and it will bring up the ownership and the history of that particular NFT. So that's the wave of the future, is using images that you have associated with yourself and that is associated with other places than other people. Now, some people say, well, what about this? I can go right on the OpenSea website and right-click on this image and save it to my computer, and I have your NFT image, and I'm using it as my profile picture. Absolutely right. That's part of the issue with NFTs, is that they're images, and people can take them and try to resell them, or just pretend that they own the NFT, which is why this Twitter thing is so interesting. Because if someone else uses this as their avatar profile pic on Twitter, other services may follow, maybe not, and they click on it, they're not going to get the provenance of the image. And maybe they don't care. But for those of us who do care and who find this very interesting and how all of this works, in order to know how something works, you have to use it. You have to put it to the test. So the first thing you have to do is find an NFT marketplace. And we've talked about OpenSea here before many times, and that's where we're going to go in a moment. Then you have to set up your online wallet with Ethereum. I guess because right now Ethereum is, one Ethereum is $3,000 and one Bitcoin is, it used to be $40,000. So I think that's why Ethereum is the more affordable cryptocurrency to buy these NFTs. At least that's my experience so far, is that these sellers, places, prefer Ethereum over Bitcoin. So then you have to put money, US dollars, in your virtual. Hey, thanks for the follow. Arminsky69. Then you have to put real money in your crypto wallet. And you have to decide if you want it to be Bitcoin or Dogecoin or Ethereum or whatever. So you are importing money into your wallet as Ethereum. And some wallets, if you're a new user, will make you wait a day or two or three, verify your identity to make sure that you're not stealing someone's credit card to buy things on the blockchain. And all of that is very true, because people do steal and they make mistakes. So if you see something you want to buy online that's an NFT and you don't have a crypto wallet and you've never purchased anything online before, slow down, because you got to figure out if it works first. And you got to set up your wallet first. And you want to do a small transfer, like $1, from your bank account or your debit card or whatever you're using. Some credit cards allow you to fund crypto now. They didn't used to, but they do now. But it's a cash advance. Just to see if it works. And then you can send yourself or a friend, that $1 and see if they get it. And they send it back, and then you get it. And with Ethereum, you have to pay a gas price, which is the transfer price from one end to the other. And gas prices rise and fall throughout the day. And if you're trying to buy something and gas prices are high, you may get a warning from your wallet saying, the Ethereum gas price is really high right now, like $100 to do this transaction. Do you want to wait, or do you want to pay the big money and get it done fast? So these are all, so you think you have enough money in your crypto wallet to do what you want to do, and you get to the checkout, and it says, oh, no, you need another $100 in your wallet if you want to do this purchase. So I was searching and wondering, well, what kind of NFT? I have no real interest right now in collecting hundreds of NFTs like some people do. I wanted a high quality one. I wanted one that would look good as a profile picture. Meh. I didn't want, some of these are very busy. They're geometric shapes. They're mandalas. Interesting stuff. But I was very specific. I wanted something that would really stand out and be interesting online. Because this is the one and only I'm going to do. Maybe. There are people online who will give you their NFT artwork. and you join their club or their Discord server, or you reply to them on Reddit, and they will give you an NFT for free because they're new, they're starting out, they want to. So you can, it's possible to do NFT collections and not have to spend any money. But you also get what you pay for, I think. So I went on OpenSea and was just looking around, trying to find something cheap that was interesting, that would work as an avatar. And I wanted to go with someone, an entity, an artist, that had a blue check mark, which meant that they were verified by OpenSea. There are some people on OpenSea where you click on their artwork and you want to buy it, and you get a warning sign from OpenSea saying, look, this person is not verified in our system, but if you want to proceed and go ahead, you can, but we're not guaranteeing the sale. So this is what I did. And I found one person, and I just went crazy over his artwork. And I really couldn't afford any of it because it's very expensive. But this is the guy, and I talked to him on Twitter this morning. Very nice, super friendly. His name is Sabet. I asked him, is it Sabet or Sabet? He said Sabet. He is right here. Ali Sabet is an Iranian-American artist and designer. His work shines with vibrant optimism, love, and beauty in the face of it all. Very, very true. Joined OpenSea a year ago. And this is his avatar. This is his new thing right now. This is a space woman, which is very beautiful. And if you decide to buy one of her NFTs, you also get, I believe, a song that's associated with it, and you are promoting DMCA-free music, and Sabet now has a music company. He's all over the place doing very interesting things. But the last time I checked, which was about 20 minutes ago, a version of this avatar with the music you can unlock was selling for $5,500. That's a lot of money. So this is his page on OpenSea, and you scroll, and you can immediately see his style and his art. I find it very beautiful and very interesting. It's very thick and dense, and you see his style right away. It's just immediately identifiable. Now, the thing I learned on setting my Twitter profile, which I'll show you in a second, is that usually when you set up your profile, you can frame your picture. Well, the way Twitter has it set up right now is they decide where your frame is on your NFT. So I wanted mine to be a little bit higher, but it won't let me do that. So you have to be a little bit careful in retrospect, looking at something you'd want to use for an avatar or a profile picture, because if it's not really in the center of the artwork, it's not going to show. Now, I think something like this with this beautiful woman, her face would be right in the middle, but you wouldn't get all the other faces that are surrounding her. Now, we talked about the Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is also on OpenSea. I believe they're one of ones, which makes it very exclusive. And I guess Sabet was sort of involved with that somehow, designing them. So he has his own take, as many people do, on the Bored Ape Yacht Club images. So he takes one of their apes, redraws it himself, and puts his own spin on it. And this, I think, is funny and interesting, and I like this. This makes me laugh, this kind of Bored Ape, because there are a lot of people out there on NFT sites imitating the Bored Ape stuff. They have Bored Ape virus infections where the faces are melting. They have Bored Ape skeletons where part of the face is cut away, and you can see the brain and the nose. To me, it's not interesting. It's just copying the idea and then putting a spin on it. This is not copying an idea. This is an original take on an established something. So you can see he has a style for drawing these kind of beautiful women. And here's another one called an Ape Melody that's gold. It's drawn in gold, which is really beautiful. And then here's one I thought was very interesting, selling for half an Ethereum. We'll click on this one, And so you can see what it looks like on a page. So you click on this to get the price. Apenoids in the Wild from Sabet 2022, okay? So that's the image you would be purchasing as an NFT. That would work great as a profile image. There are 8 owners. That means he sold 8 of them. And there are 18 total of these of this particular image to buy. 45 favorites means that there are 45 people on OpenSea who have seen this and clicked the like button to save it in their own private file online. Current price? Wow. 50 Ethereum for that, which translates to $159,000. That takes your breath away. And here's the price history. The all-time average is 0.3 Ethereum, which is about $1,000. And you can see right here, average price 0.28 just in January. And now it's boom, February 8. 2 weeks later, way up. So this is the Sabet page on OpenSea. And I just lost it. So now I'll show you. This is Sabet. This is the image that I purchased. Sabet and Super Shibas. Now, I don't know if this is a dog or a cat. I have no idea. There are 122 likes. I love the color. There are 20 owners, and there are 28 of these available for licensing. The current price is 0.41 Ethereum, which is $1,300. And here are the prices, the history, the offers, no offers yet. This is the first Sabet by Super Shiba's derivative. Looking forward to creating more. 10,000 Super Shibas created by blah, blah, blah. We provide community, utility, and all that stuff. So there you go. So this is what it looks like. Now, this is my page, and this is now my avatar, most everywhere online, because I think it's funny. And it's a perfect avatar, really. I think it's hilarious. I don't know if it's laughing or crying, which is how I feel most of the day. Now, this thing right here, this is my Ethereum address for buying and for selling. This is my collection. I have exactly 1 in my collection. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Favorited. I'll show you my favorites. Sabet also has an ugly kitty. Cache of NFTs that were sold before. So they're no longer being sold. You can make an offer to someone who currently owns one of these if you like it. And Sabet told me in a DM on Twitter that he is now doing round 2 of ugly kitties, which I can't wait for because I think these kitties are absolutely darling. So this is what wouldn't you love to have that as your avatar? Oh, they're so upset. The ugly kitties are angry kitties. So I just favorited all of these because I want to keep an eye on them. So let's click on one of them and I'll show you. It's not for sale. Ugly kitty number 297. 7 favorites. And what you can do is make an offer. And does it tell you it last sold for 0.21 Ethereum 2 months ago, so I'm sure that's double the price. But so you can go in here and say, oh, I love this kitty, and there are people who buy these just to resell them, and you can make an offer. Boom, say I'll pay you 0.7 Ethereum for this kitty, and then they accept, if they accept, and then the blockchain updates, and you become the owner, and there's a provenance for how this artwork works. So these are the ugly kitties that I love all of them. I just think they're so, love the color. I love the design. I love that they're very angry and they're upset. I liked a lot of ugly kitties. And now here we get into the other stuff from Sabet that I think is very interesting. This beautiful space woman that he is now animating. Here's another hit take on the Bored Ape, but the Sabet style. NFT NYC, Aped New York. Beautiful. Love that. I just love it. That is selling for $3,000. This is very interesting to me. It doesn't have his vibrant style, but it's very muted. I like that too. More kitties. This is the one that has a song in it. Do we get a song out of this? Oh, there is a song. It's mixing with my slipstream, which is kind of interesting. So you can embed voices and music in these NFTs, which I'm sure raises the price quite a bit. And here's another one, which is very interesting, very dense again. The use of color is just wonderful. A face in a crowd in a city. And I click play, and where do you get on that one? Sounds like a backward record. Love that. Super interesting. Now this is, I think, is my favorite cat. This is when I first found the cat. The Bored Ape inside the cat body, eating a rat. Oh, I love that. It's so fun. It's a great take on the ridiculousness of the Bored Ape. So these are all of the things that I have favorited. And of all the people I've seen online on OpenSea, the one that I thought was the greatest was Sabet. And there's mine right there. So you see how it kind of fits in with the wackiness of it all? I also like this one quite a bit. I think it's, for a profile picture for an avatar, it's perfect. It's the right size. Then you expand it and you see all the faces around. Really, really cool work. So that's Sabet. So now, the purchase is made. I have that image in my thing, in my collection, as they say. So I go to Twitter on my iPhone, and I'm using Twitter for iOS, and I click on update my profile. And Twitter always wants me to redo my character count because it's over, but it's not over. It's just the way they count links. And here's the new one. You can choose an NFT. And you see it's like a, I guess it's a pentagon. I thought it was an octagon, but it's a pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's a pentagon. So there you click on choose, touch, choose NFT. Okay. Then it opens your wallet. You have to associate your crypto wallet with your Twitter account, which some people are like, oh no, why would I do that? Well, everything in life is danger. And here's what I don't like is you can see the pentagon, but you can't move it. I want to move it up a little bit so I get more of the face and less of the body. But right now, Twitter won't let you do that. But I don't care. I clicked on done. And then you go to your profile, and then that becomes your profile picture. And if you touch your profile picture, if anyone touches your profile picture with the octagon on iOS, you get this. The name of it, Verified Collection by OpenSea. You click View NFT Details, and this is what you get. Pages and pages of what it is, who is the creator, who is the owner, hey, and the description of what this piece of artwork is. And then you go to Big Boy's page, and there's the new octagonal. Now this is live, isn't it? This is on the web. Well, now that's interesting. This is, because I'm talking here. So this is live. It is the pentagon, not the octagon. And I click on it. And look at that. It is. I thought it was only iOS, so it's on web. Maybe it's on Android now, too. But I believe you have to be right now a Twitter Blue member in order to have this possibility set before you. So that is my new profile pic. This is, when I set it as my profile pic, Twitter said, hey, you want to tell everybody about your new profile pic that's an NFT? I said, okay. And I tweeted it out, and this is what it looks like. Beautiful. Get the whole picture. This is my new best friend, Sabet, on Twitter. You can follow him there. S-A-B-E-T is his username. This is his profile pic. Not an NFT. You know he has many. This is Sabet's Instagram. Very interesting as well. 58,000 followers. I love that space woman. It's just glorious. And here's some of his interesting artwork. And he has a Discord server you can join if you want to get updates about what's coming. The new Naughty Dirty Kitty, Bad Kitty thing is supposedly coming. Now these that are like dirty abstractions, these I don't like very much. I don't know when they're on his Instagram. There's this vaping, I don't know what it is. Robot. I like that one. I do. I like the colors. And if you're really daring and interesting, here is Sabet's website, which is sabet.art, A-R-T. And you can watch him doing his stuff. There he is. Heck of a nice guy. Responds to DMs immediately. And you know he's making a lot of money off this. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. And why not? T-shirts, you can buy his artwork. You can buy this right now. Mixed Media Original for $28.50. Right here. This, yours. $3,000. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. And this, all digital. And he does regular paintings too. Oh, now this looks like this is an actual painting because it's $12,000. Okay, I'll go for it. I like it all. So that's been my day, yesterday and today, of searching for something that would represent me, my new friend, my new avatar, which I've now placed everywhere because it's different and fun, and we'll start a conversation. And I can write about it. I'll write more about this process in a bolesblogs.com article coming soon. And if you have any questions about NFT or art or any of this process, please put them in chat. And right now I'm going to take our very first blood pressure break. Back in a moment. From break, I'm David Boles. This is Boles.tv. B-O-L-E-S dot TV. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Jana Marie on the weekends, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here for you, talking about disability and American Sign Language. So on the break, our friend Dora said, happy you took the plunge. Very interesting experience. I can see how it could be very addicting because there's so much out there. I also like his work, Sabet's work. I need to digest it all before going forward. Very true. It takes a lot of digestion. And that's not a joke. It's very complicated. But all the young kids are doing it, so what are you going to do? I'd love to do it with my art after I retire. Too busy now. And today, it's National Pizza Day. Don't tell Jana Marie or we'll have a revolt on our hands. Every day is National Pizza Day. So I was thinking about, artwork, and I have a friend who is a big investor in Kansas City, Missouri, and they started this company to help people pick artwork for their home. And these are very rich people who are selling artwork to very rich people, and I guess a lot of rich people don't know what a good piece of artwork is. So this company helps advise them on something that will make them money, I guess, in the future. But the first rule of investing in art has always been, if you like it, then it's worth the money. I'm not sure if Jana Marie is very excited about my new friend. She is not allowed on her wall, but is allowed on my wall. Oh no, Jana Marie's here. She's supposed to be at a meeting. Yay, pizza day, can't wait. Uh-oh. Well, thanks, Dora. Now we're having pizza today. So my friend has been banished to my area of the home. And Jana wants nothing to do with it. I think it's delightful. I think she thinks my friend is not very attractive. But I gave you the reasons why we were doing it. Standout, face, picture, profile. And then I remembered 40 years ago, while I was on break, this occurred to me. I guarantee you that my friend Sabet, my new friend, is not making his money on NFTs. He's making bank on NFTs. And every time they flip over and change hands, he gets paid 7.10% of the sale price. His big money is doing consignments for businesses. Uh-oh. The beauty is speaking. I'm not too crazy about this picture, but I like the other ones. I understand. I'm not sure I agree, but I understand. This one spoke to me. I don't know. I guess it's a dog. Makes me laugh. It really does. That Sabet is making his money on consignments from businesses. I guarantee you. It's on his website. You saw his website. Those companies, logos. That's where he's making his really, really big money. And I know this because 40 years ago, growing up in Nebraska, there was a brand new bank that was opening. It was designed by I.M. Pei in the outline of the state of Nebraska. It doesn't really look like the state of Nebraska, but if you look at it, maybe I can find it for you. It sort of looks like the state of Nebraska. It was the National Bank of Commerce building in downtown Lincoln, Nebraska. Let me see if I can find it, because it's a funny story. I think it's the only thing he's ever designed in Nebraska. And it was his claim to fame, and of course all the Nebraskans were like, "Oh my gosh, can you believe he did it in the outline of the state of Nebraska?" And I love I.M. Pei. I think he's just wonderful. But that building, a little ugly. Okay, so I'm finding it here. I know I'm being rude by looking at this behind your back, but some things you just got to do. Oh, it's just so ugly. I hate looking at it. But I will. I'll do it for you. Okay, so Let's see, I have to go to the right page here. So this is, just so you know, what the great state of Nebraska looks like. This is the outline of the great state of Nebraska. You have a little panhandle. Some people think it looks a little bit like a gun. Okay, so that is the profile of the National Bank of Commerce building that IM Pei designed, and this is what it looks like. So I guess it's this big empty space here that creates the panhandle that makes it look like the state of Nebraska. This is the inside. Beautiful building, very brutalist. I worked in the radio station right across the street in the Stewart building. And the bank was massive. This is the lobby of the bank. Massive. And very cold. Cold feeling and cold people. So this is the back side of the building, which doesn't look anything like the thing like this for the back side of Nebraska. But this, on the left, is the front side of the building, which is the panhandle. Here's a top-down view. It's now Wells Fargo. It used to be National Bank of Commerce, NBC Bank. That is the state of Nebraska in the building. Do you see it? I don't see it either. I think it's just ridiculous. But the people in Nebraska, they talk, oh my goodness, can you believe that he designed a bank that looks just like our state? And the bank is on the main floor, and all the rest of it is office space. Very nice office space, too. I've visited people there. But is it the state of Nebraska? No. People believe what they want to believe. But the lobby is quite stunning. I will admit that. So, we were at the National Bank of Commerce, and we were on some kind of field trip. My friends and I were there officially, and we were probably 13 years old or so at the time. And there was an artist there working on a painting that had been commissioned by the bank. And this guy was a successful, I guess, Nebraska painter. And what he would do is, great big canvas, he would have a green line at the bottom, a thin green line that maybe went up and down a little bit. And then the rest of the painting, 10 foot by 5 feet, 10 feet by 10 feet. And then the rest of the painting was blue. So this green line was supposed to be the land of Nebraska, and the rest of it, blue Nebraska sky. And sometimes he put little white clouds. And my friends and I looked at each other, and we looked at each other, and we looked at each other, and we said, and we loved art, we loved music, and making movies, and being in plays. We were as artistic as you can be in the Midwest in the 1970s and 80s. And we looked at each other and we said, what is this? It looks like it's done with crayon. I said, we could do that. And one of my friends asked the artist, he said, how much does something like this cost? And the artist, we were a small group, he said, well, this one that I'm doing for the bank is $25,000. I mean, we all audibly gasped. And one of us said, it wasn't me, one of us said, $25,000 for that? I can do that? This? Land? Paint the sky? 25 grand? It would take you 5 minutes to paint that. And it was true because there wasn't any style in it. It wasn't Jasper Johns. It wasn't Kandinsky. It wasn't anything that was really Jasper Johns-ish. It was a line and painted blue. I could do it right now, today. But somehow this guy had this, what I call a scam going, where he had convinced people that he was this great Nebraska artist, painting the land in the sky and getting paid $25,000 by a bank to hang that painting in their lobby of their new building. It was shocking. But then as I grew older and more mature, I came to realize that that is exactly how people make money as artists. They don't make it from really selling paintings to us, to regular people. They make their money getting commissioned by businesses to create art specifically for them, and then the business writes it off, and the artist gets paid, and that's how it all works. So I'm sure my new friend Sabet, that's how he's getting a lot of his money, is through these company partnerships that he has. And for him, all the more power to him. Good on him. Well, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Maus. Do you remember Maus and being censored in Tennessee because it was a filthy, dirty book with nudity and bad language? It's a book about the Holocaust by Art Spiegelman. And I'm not pronouncing his name like I'm German. That's just how you pronounce his name. I've heard him pronounce his name Spiegelman. And it's about Auschwitz and World War II and the story of his father, who survived Auschwitz. And the Nazis are cats, and the Jews are mice. And our hardback cover special edition, Part 1 and Part 2, arrived yesterday. And I'm going to share a little bit of it with you now. So this is the outside book flap thing that I don't like. I always take these off. But this is what we're talking about, Maus. And just share with you why some of this is really important. It's a graphic novel, as we discussed in the past. And a graphic novel does not mean graphic as in pornographic. It means graphic as in drawn and not, written. So I'll just show you a random page here. This is what this whole thing looks like. It's very German, expressionistic. All hand-drawn by Art Spiegelman, who is still alive, I believe. He was on the news 2 weeks ago, at least he was alive then, talking about banning his book in Tennessee. So this is what you get for, 300 pages. This kind of overwhelming, dense text, expressionistic drawings, and torture. And then I made some little observations of my own that I'm going to share with you, because it's very interesting. The book begins with this quote, which also goes to our Whoopi Goldberg issue that we had last week about Jews and race. Here's a quote from Adolf Hitler, starting the book. The Jews are undoubtedly a race, but they are not human. And Hitler and the Nazis thought that they were the master race. That was their propaganda campaign, shall we say. And Whoopi now knows that, and she's been still taken off the air for 2 weeks for not knowing something, which is really terrible. So you saw those images that I showed you that were very dense, and then I'm showing you the beauty of the book and the surprises that Art includes in his book. Then you get this little Hell Planet, Prisoner on Hell Planet, a case history with a completely different drawing style. And you can see there's a thumb there holding the book. So it's a book within a book that takes on a totally different tone and attitude from the rest of the book. So it gives your eye and your mind a little break. It's absolutely genius. This is why the book is successful, because it always surprises you. And here's another surprise, that every once in a while you get something that's hyper-realistic and takes you out of the world of cats chasing mice. And in this case, on this page, it's this drawing, the side view of how the Jews would hide from the Nazis. They had a coal bin that was fake, and they would enter the bottom of the coal bin that was bolted to the floor, and they would go down a ladder in a bunker and live there for a day or two until the Nazis left. And they were never found. And that is where his father survived, and other of his friends survived before they were eventually caught and sent to Auschwitz. And his father survived Auschwitz and had a lot of survivor guilt and took it out on Art, his son. And this book is a story of how terrible things happened. And Art's father died in 1987, and his mother, who also survived the war, committed suicide in 1968. What does that do to a kid? But the people in Tennessee don't want their children knowing about this. No. This is a bad book. This has mice. And starting part 2 of the book is something that's really very interesting. It's a quote about Mickey Mouse from a German newspaper article in 1933. The Rise of the Third Reich. Mickey Mouse is the most miserable ideal ever revealed. Healthy emotions tell every independent young man and every honorable youth that the dirty and filth-covered vermin, the greatest bacteria carrier in the animal kingdom, cannot be the ideal type of animal. Away with Jewish brutalization of the people. Down with Mickey Mouse. Wear the swastika cross. So they're trying to influence young German kids to not believe in Mickey Mouse or in playthings and to instead believe in the swastika cross. And I believe that quote is also what inspired the Jews to be rats, to be mice. In solidarity with Mickey Mouse. And again, you're in the middle of the book, part 2, and you come upon a page, and it's this. A hyper-realistic, full color, the only color in the book, map. It's also on the back cover that I showed you of the book. And it just makes you wonder, what in the world is going on? It's such a surprise to get that flash of color. It shocks the eye. And then the book ends, and it's a father who is miserable and sad and telling his story to his distraught son who wonders where the love went and where the parental affection is to be found. And it's not really to be found anywhere. And then we are left with a hyper-realistic, real-life photograph of Art's father from the camps. And there's the reality right next to the hyper-reality of the comic book mice. So there you go. This is Art Spiegelman's Mouse. The German word for mouse, M-A-U-S, mouse. And where do you stand? Do you want kids reading this book? Is it appropriate? Pre-war, right? The mice in their beautiful suits and their glasses, getting ready with their Star of David. And this is how they end up. So I say, get this book and read it to your kids. Explain to them what censorship means. Explain to them why some people don't want them knowing what this book is about. That's the hardcover version. There are softcover versions. There are 2 parts. The first one was the Pulitzer Prize winning book, and part 2 is the book about his father, and part 2 is the book about Art and his father dealing with the after effects of the Holocaust. It's a wonderful book. It's a great experience. And now we're going to take a very brief blood pressure break, and we will be back in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Boles. This is Boles.tv. Lovely to be here. Jana Marie will be here on Friday, 10:15, to provide a hardcore American Sign Language lesson. We do not know the topic. It's probably not going to be an expression of love for my friend. Now, it would be fun if this could be described in American Sign Language. How would you describe this new friend? That might be interesting. I don't know if Jana Marie can tolerate it, though. It's okay to have bad taste. Just kidding. And we are here with you every weekday, 9 a.m., Monday through Friday, trying to make sense of this crazy, wacky world in which we live, and sometimes often spin until we tumble and fall down. But that's okay, because we're here. Right now, we are together. So, what's going on in the news? Well, let's take a look. This is one of those head-snapping stories that just annoys me to no end. Moms for Liberty. Now, when you hear that, you think, oh boy, hey, there's some moms out there fighting for freedom and justice. And they're not going to censor books or try to have things taken away from our children so they can't know things. Oh no, those are Moms for Liberty. Oh no. This is the new way of the world, where Moms for Liberty are fascist and Moms for Liberty are actually just the opposite of freedom and love and compassion and understanding. There's a book called Walk Two Moons. It's about a 13-year-old girl with Native American heritage who travels from Ohio to Idaho with her grandparents and longs to be reunited with her missing mother. The book received a Newbery Medal in 1995, and according to the committee, had overwhelmingly positive online reviews from readers. Well, Davy, as my Uncle Mills used to say. Well. What do the Moms for Liberty have to say about that? I believe they're in Tennessee. Well, complaints from the local Moms for Liberty chapter claimed that book, Walk Two Moons, was inappropriate for elementary-aged students, specifically fourth graders, who would be taught the book in the fourth quarter for a few reasons, including stick figures, hanging, cursing, and miscarriage, hysterectomy, stillborn, and screaming during labor. Yeah, it's not like fourth graders haven't already heard about all of that online and probably from within their own families. And remember, we just got done discussing Mouse, which was also similarly removed from the classroom in Tennessee. But the Moms for Liberty, the cats against the rats, they're not done yet. The complaints from Moms for Liberty stated that we are not sending kids to learn about social justice. We should continue to let children have their innocence. Ignorance? Oh, innocence. Ignorance? No, innocence. And the topics need to be taught in the home. Oh, sure. I can't wait to see the Moms for Liberty doing the homeschool version of stick figures hanging, cursing, miscarriage, hysterectomy, stillborn, and screaming during labor. Maybe they'll act it out. The Moms for Liberty Committee wrote that in its decision to remove the book was not a value judgment of the book or about how it connected to the curriculum. The repetitive nature of the emotionally weighted topics throughout the book, the emotional resonation of the text being extremely high, and overall concern with the timing being the end of the school year, all give the committee great concern. Ugh. The committee concluded that the value and integrity of the book as an instructional tool could not be retained, while at the same time providing an appropriate learning experience for students. And that's how these things happen. That's how Moms for Liberty start stealing your freedom. They're in Tennessee, but they're being talked about in New York and New Jersey and California. You think you're free? Well, Moms for Liberty are coming for you and your books. And here's a very interesting take on what this really is all about. All of this challenging of books and censorship and removing things from kids so they can't have access to it. It's not really about what we think it's about. It's not just about censorship. It's about control. And it is absolutely on the right-wing GOP agenda for 50 years to destroy the public school system. They don't want public schools. They want children homeschooled. They want charter schools. They want religious schools. They want to control the minds of children by making them believe only what they want them to believe and not what other books and opportunities provide. They want to control the narrative and the agenda. And they do that by going after the public school system. So talking about Moms for Liberty, that's not surprising at all what they're doing if you know anything about the Tennessee Republican Party, which is in lockstep with right-wing oligarchs funding their campaigns. The fact that so many of these challenged books have been in the literary canon for decades is a dead giveaway that the new bans are a response to contemporary political forces whose true motivation has nothing to do with books. What they really want is to destroy public education. The ultimate goal is to dismantle the public education system entirely and replace it with a privately run education system. The real tragedy in Tennessee and across all the red states is this existential threat to public education, which is the very foundation of a functioning democracy. And that's where our outrage should lie. Not at these school boards doing the bidding of the Republican Party. Not at the school boards whose decisions are formed by parental concerns that simply differ from our own. So the threat is just not to us, it's to the children. They don't want them to know things. I love talking about machines on this live stream. I had a newsletter that I loved writing called Mechanized Morality. And this is a fascinating installation at the Guggenheim Museum in New York City. And I find the topic just absolutely wondrous and fascinating. Who is more vulnerable? The human who built the machine, or the machine who is controlled by a human? That is the moral question raised in Can't Help Myself, this piece of art you see. Made in 2016. A site-specific installation, created for the Guggenheim by Sun Yang and Peng Yu. The artists were invited to create an artwork in response to ideas of territory, boundary, and borders. The result was a modified industrial robot, and we'll talk about more of that momentarily. Designed to continuously sweep an oozing dark red liquid so it remains within a certain circumference. When sensors on the machine detect that the liquid has seeped beyond the boundary, the robotic arm carefully pulls the liquid back into place. Once the machine has completed its repetitive task, it starts to dance randomly, combining a sequence from 32 programmed movements that mimic human and animal actions like scratch and itch or bow and shake. The installation examines our increasingly automated global reality, one in which territories are controlled mechanically, and the relationship between people and technology is rapidly changing. Can't help myself. And there it is. I just love that. And we know the dark red color is blood. So the machine sops up the blood and manages it and minimalizes it, keeps it within a boundary, and then dances once all the blood has been hidden. Oh no, now the blood's seeping out again. So, back into sweeping, hiding, controlling, keeping it all on course. Oh, I think it's just wonderful. Now, if that were an NFT, it'd be my profile picture right now. Have you heard about this? We talked about this yesterday. ID.me, ID.me was going to be the awful place where you had to go and prove your identity online in order to access your tax information on the IRS website. Yes, the IRS was going to make you go to ID.me to prove your face was your face. And jump through other hoops and do a live interview and a video and photographs. And finally somebody in Washington said, look, well, that's ridiculous. Why are we having people prove their biometric face to the IRS using an outside source? So here's an update on that story. ID.me attempts to verify users of digital services by collecting a variety of personal documents. Show us your papers. From government-issued IDs to passports and birth certificates to video selfies and interviews with ID.me employees. Prove yourself. In addition, the company would have compelled taxpayers to sign 3 separate binding contracts. This is ID.me, not the IRS. But if you want to access your IRS records, you have to go through this policy. A policy that included a biometric data consent policy, which would allow the company to access your fingerprints, voice prints, scans of your hands, facial geometry recognition, and iris or retina recognition. Wow. All of that just so you can have the right to go look at your tax records. Companies using biometric data and facial recognition technology to verify identities share a history of discriminating against, and sometimes excluding, Black people, other people of color, trans and gender non-conforming individuals, and women. Black computer scientists Joy and Timmett found that facial analysis algorithms misclassify Black women 35% of the time, despite a near-perfect match rate for white men. The same technology deployed by police departments has led to the wrongful convictions of Black people. We understand the concerns that have been raised, says the head of the IRS. Everyone should feel comfortable with how their personal information is secured, and we are quickly pursuing short-term options that do not involve facial recognition. While the IRS has halted plans to use ID.me's facial recognition technology, the company still has contracts in effect with 9 other federal agencies, including the Social Security Administration and the Department of Veteran Affairs, and also works with 30 state unemployment offices. Digital right group Fight for the Future, which led the anti-ID.me coalition, now plans to focus on opposing those contracts as well. So there you go. Your face does not belong to you. Your irises now belong to the state. And if you close your eyes, oh, now you're hiding. We're calling that fleeing from justice, and we're prosecuting you to the fullest extent of the law. Because your handprints, your fingerprints, your heartbeat, your pulse no longer belongs to you. It now belongs to us, the government, because we want to take care of you. And as you know, I've talked about HRV a lot, which is HRV, heart resting value. I've been talking for an hour and a half. HRV, big in fitness. It's how long your heart pauses between a heartbeat. And the higher the number is usually better, but some people have a low number. It's fine. You can't compare your HRV with other people because everyone's HRV is different. But if yours dramatically changes from 100 and then goes down to 2, you should look at that. And the number one thing that makes your HRV go from 100 to 2 is drinking alcohol. It absolutely destroys your heart. And some people drink every single day as part of their culture. But if they knew what they were doing to their HRV, they would not be drinking at all. And there's some people who want to identify you now by your HRV. It's a very specific, very minute way of determining who you are. How long your heart pauses between beats. So that's coming for you too. Our lovely friend Dora sent this yesterday because we talk about crypto here every once in a while. Talked about NFTs first half hour of the show. Self-proclaimed crocodile of Wall Street and her husband are arrested for laundering $4.5 billion in Bitcoin, stolen in 2016. And the authorities recover 3.6 after seizing private keys to the couple's digital wallets. So there are a lot of bad people out there in the world. We think we're immune, but we're really not. And this morning on the news, there was a story about this Catholic nun who was a principal of a school and who stole $800,000 from the school over her tenure as the principal. Now, how a Catholic school has $800,000 coming in that can be scraped is astonishing to me. I guess it's donations? Is it coming from the church itself? I don't know how this works. Oh, Dora says, and they'll find you eventually. Yes, they will. They think, oh, the blockchain's anonymous. Not really. Not anymore. Now, these exchanges who sell say, look, once it's on the blockchain, your Ethereum, your Bitcoin, if it's been sent, you can't get it back. It's impossible. Don't even ask us. We won't help you. It's a permanent thing. You've done it to yourself. So this nun owes $300,000, and she admitted to it in court and is going to spend 1 year and 1 day in prison. And when she was asked, why did you do this? She said, well, I knew the parish wasn't going to pay me back or cover my expenses. My $800,000 in expenses. I said, what expenses do you have? And she said, well, gambling debts. And they said, you owe $800,000 in gambling debts? Who is loaning you $800,000 to cover you in the first place? She said, well, I'm a nun. I have the backing of the Catholic Church. So she pleaded guilty, got sentenced, and now she has to pay back somehow $800,000. How is that going to happen? I don't think she'll be kicked out of the Catholic Church, but I don't think she'll be put in a position where she's earning any money or has control of any money. I think they're just going to put her in a little box somewhere and say, please, just stay there where you are. Maybe do a little job and pay back some of your restitution, but leave the rest of us out of it. And now we're going to take one more break and then come back and talk a little bit more about AI. An AI that feels and works and stretches. It sounds interesting. We'll be back in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Boles on Boles.tv, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. So somebody sent me a little DM asking about, hey, what this NFT thing you were talking about, what is it, where is it? And I understand we didn't really go right to where it is. So I'll just take you very briefly for a quick look at OpenSea, which is one of the main places where people sell and create NFTs and buy them. So you can explore. You can also create NFTs there. They will help you. They will step you through the process of uploading and categorizing and putting a price on it. Then they have notable drops. A drops means new images become unstoppable. Hedgehogs. Top collections of the last 7 days. And these are verified, some not verified. Bored Ape Yacht Club is down 70%. Isn't that interesting? The Ape Prime is up 80%. I don't even know what these are. CryptoPunks, that's another big one. Down 40%. What's interesting is the floor price when you look at these. So you look at these and you see the floor price for Ape Prime is 4 Ethereum. And Ethereum is, let's say, $3,000. So the floor price, before you even go look at it, the minimum you'll have to pay for one of those is $12,000. Okay? So it helps you know, like, okay, I don't have $12,000, so I'm going to go look someplace else. Now this one, Clone X, floor price, woohoo! 14 Ethereum. So 14 times 3 is, what, $1 million? $42,000. Here's one that's a little more affordable. Hype Bears Club. .66 Ethereum. $1,800. Bored Yacht Club, floor price 92 Ethereum. Oh boy, that's a lot. So let's just, for fun, just click on this very first one. I don't even know what this is. I hope it's nothing pornographic. Floor price is 4, 8,000 items. Oh my gosh, it's more apes. I don't get it. What's so funny about these apes? And then you bid. And see if you win. Or you can, I think sometimes you can just buy now. I don't get it. I don't find any of these interesting or attractive. They're 3D apes. I guess people like that better than the bored ape. Enough of that. So that's OpenSea. You can go open and see. What do you think? So we love talking about AI here as well. It's fascinating and terrifying. We talked about the disturbing valley yesterday, which is the other side of the uncanny valley. Well, now we're trying to figure out how to get AI to show feelings, because feelings are so important to human beings, and the robots want to be just like us. The AI approach embeds sensor nodes connected to multiple small, less powerful processing units that act like mini brains on the robotic skin. Then combining the system with self-healing ion gel material. What in the world is that? I don't know. Robots, when damaged, can recover their mechanical functions without human intervention. Now that right there is terrifying. So you have a bot army that's coming after you. They have AI. You shoot them with your guns. You club them with your mallets. You slice their skins with your machete. And because of their self-healing ion gel material, they can recover their mechanical functions without human intervention. If robots have to work with humans, there is a concern if they would interact safely. To ensure a safe environment, scientists worldwide have been finding ways to bring a sense of awareness to robots, including feeling pain, reacting to it, and withstanding harsh operating conditions. However, the complexity of putting together the multitude of sensors required and the resultant fragility of such a system is a major barrier for widespread adoption. And notice this is all about pain and function. They didn't once say, we want our robots to be empathetic. Continuing on, artificial general intelligence, the idea of a truly artificial human-like brain, remains a topic of deep research interest, but a goal that experts agree is far into the future. A current point of debate around AGI, artificial general intelligence, highlights its relevance for work. MIT Professor Emeritus, robotics pioneer and Task Force Research Advisory Board member Rodney Brooks argues that the Turing test for AI should be updated. The old standard, the Turing test, was a computer behind a wall with which a human could hold a textual conversation, typing back and forth, and find it indistinguishable from another person. That goal was achieved long ago with simple chatbots. Not really. You know you're talking to a chatbot, not a human. Which few argue represent AGI. In a world of robotics, as the digital world increasingly mixes with the physical world, we need a new standard: the ability to do complex work tasks that require other types of interaction with the world. One example might be the work of a home health aide. These tasks include providing physical assistance to a fragile human, observing their behavior, and communicating with family and doctors. The idea, whether embodied in this particular job, a warehouse worker's job, or other kinds of work, captures the sense that today's intelligence challenges are problems of physical dexterity, social interaction, and judgment, as much as they are symbolic data processing. These dimensions remain out of reach for current AI, which has significant implications for work. Pushing Brooks' idea further, we might say that the future of AI is the future of work. Machines can do the work. That's one of my favorite songs. About 16 years ago. It's just a song that has a strong beat, and all they do is say it over and over and over and over again is, machines can do the work. We had discussed Boston Dynamics here previously and their terrifying robots. Google used to own Boston Dynamics, and they sold them because I don't think they want to be responsible for the robot army that's coming for us very soon. You know the name Boston Dynamics for its robot Spot, which is a robot dog that we have watched here before, and many other robots like it that sit well within the uncanny valley. The now Hyundai subsidiary, Boston Dynamics, has signed a deal with logistics company, delivery company, DHL, for a far more mundane robot. This robot is called Stretch, and it's a robot designed to replace people to unload trucks. In a sense, you can probably consider it an autonomous forklift, if you discount the fact that Stretch doesn't actually have moving prongs. Instead of those, the robot has a robotic arm with various degrees of movement. At the business end of the arm is a suction base that can pick up items weighing up to 23 kilograms. It even has an internal battery that gives it 8 hours of use. Just short of the number of hours people are expected to work in a day. So, dock workers, warehouse workers, unloaders, UPS workers, Amazon workers, FedEx workers. Here's your future. It's a future called stretch. This is your replacement bot. Who needs you when you have Stretch doing all the work? Who needs you to pick up a box? We have Stretch who can do it. And Stretch is showing us Spot. Spot, the terrifying robot dog who's going to chase after you and bite you in the leg and find you hiding under the coal. And I just love how they sell these robots to us as if they're cute and fun, and who wouldn't want a friend like Stretch and Spot to play with? We can dance with each other in between breaks. Aren't we wonderful, almost human in our movements? We have 8-hour batteries. We can work 10-hour shifts. Who needs a person when you have us unloading all of your boxes? And who needs a driver to drive to the person's house? We'll have Stretch drive the van as well. Stretch can load the van, drive the van, unload the van. And we don't have to pay Stretch any benefits. We let Stretch do all the work. Machines can do the work. You gotta find that song. It's very good. There are several versions, but find the one that's rat-a-tat-tat. I think it has a maroon cover. So these are two Stretches replacing human beings. That's what we're seeing. This is our future. Who needs a person to carry a box? Robots can do the work. Machines can do the work. Oh, now Spot has an arm. Now we have to listen to this, because I find this terrifying as well. This dog does scare me. I love cats. Dogs are okay. But robot dogs with a maw and teeth, no thank you. I'm really not interested in having a dog bite me like this. Oh, he's not biting you. He's just saying, oh, look, he's just doing the laundry. He's not chasing after you in a dark valley and biting you to hold you for the police. He's just picking up his panties. And look, isn't this cute? He's jumping rope. That means he can chase you across the valley and jump over the creek and not trip over a boulder. And if you're locked in your room, oh, he's happy to open the door for you so he can make you come out. And he doesn't need anybody to hold the door for him because this dog can do it all. Can turn on a switch and can also break your finger with one bite. This is our future. It's Boston Dynamics, brought to you by Hyundai. No people needed. Machines can do the work. Who needs a dog when you have Spot, the mechanical dog, who has articulating teeth and a jaw? Who needs Martha Stewart when you have Spot, planting trees and making the world a better place? A better place for the robots who don't even like trees. So I guess they're saying that the robots are first going to start off as our slaves, doing all the work we don't want to do. And then later they're going to turn against us because that's how technology works. That's how artificial intelligence works. Oh boy, here you go. It can even write and spell and communicate. No education necessary, just programming. And that's what's in store for us. It's coming to get us. The machines can take us away. Machines can do the work. Oh, we had a lovely stream today. I thank you so much for being here. Talked about mouse. Hey, yeah, Talked about my new best friend, my NFT that Jana doesn't like, but I do. Meow. Or bark. Whatever. This kind of dog. If this is a dog, I'll take that dog. And we talked about NFTs and purchasing power and Moms for Liberty, which stand for exactly everything that is not about liberty. Always be aware, always pay attention, because if you're not paying attention, someone else is. If you have a question or a comment, you can email me, david@boles.tv. You are certainly welcome to find me on Twitter with my new best friend, Sabet, @DavidBoles, on Facebook, BOLES. Instagram is Boles Books. If you want to watch our video on demand on YouTube, just go to boles.live, BOLES.LIVE, and you are there. On TikTok, we're Boles TV. Our Discord server is waiting for you. Here's an invitation for you to say hello and goodbye all at the same time. And now we'll ask the Magic 8-Ball. 8-Ball. Will there be more NFT art in our future? What will the Magic 8-Ball say? The answer is clearly sure. Hey! We're in. Don't tell Jana Marie. And we will see Jana Marie here live Friday, 10:15 for a hardcore ASL lesson. So until tomorrow, when I see you bright and early, 9 a.m. Eastern, I hope you have a wonderful day, a good evening, and I hope that joy might find you wherever you happen to go and replace any sorrow and sadness that may be within you or without you. I will see you tomorrow.